All right, here we go. Welcome back to the channel where every single day we're breaking down everything you need to know about the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're new here, buckle up. If you're already part of the flock, you know how we do things. Around here, bold takes, in-depth analysis, and that relentless Eagles passion. And before we dive deep into all the offseason moves, rankings, and what this loaded squad looks like heading into the 2025 NFL season, let me toss a challenge your way. I know every fan has that one Eagle, that player, who defined your love for the team. But forget the past for a second. We know about Brian Dawkins, we know about McNabb, Westbrook, Foles, and all the legends, but look at this current roster. This is a group that just hoisted a Lombardi. So tell me right now in the comments, who's your favorite current Eagles player? And don't just say a name, tell me why. I want to hear it from the fans who bleed green. Now let's jump into it because there's a lot to unpack. Let's start with something that caught the attention of Eagles Nation recently. The exit of a fan favorite, a guy who made his name locking down top receivers and making clutch plays. Yep, I'm talking about Darius Slay, big play Slay, a guy that came over in a trade with the Detroit Lions a few seasons back, brought in by Howie Roseman to help solidify that secondary. And for a few seasons, that's exactly what he did. He was a shutdown corner, a vocal leader, a player with presence, and even though his 2023 season was up and down, and honestly a bit of a letdown, he bounced back strong in 2024. Not only did he rebound, he was part of a Super Bowl winning team and helped get the Eagles back to the big dance for a second time in just a few years. So naturally, a lot of fans were surprised and honestly kind of confused when the team let him walk in free agency. The guy signs a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Across the state, in a different system, but still with plenty of juice left, at least on paper. But why didn't the Eagles keep him? Why not run it back with a veteran corner who knows the system, who still had solid production, and who clearly was still capable of making impact plays? Well, here's where things get interesting. According to longtime NFL insider Adam Kaplan, now who's covered the league for decades and still stays tapped in with what's going on in Philly, the issue might be deeper than cap space or a youth movement. It might have come down to one simple but serious concern: his knee. Yeah, apparently one of Slay's knees has been giving him issues for a while, and he underwent arthroscopic surgery late in 2023. Kaplan said teams were legitimately concerned about how well he could still run, especially long term, and that makes sense. We've seen this story before. 1 minute a veteran corner is balling out, and the next they can't keep up with wideouts. Anymore, the decline can be sudden, and when it comes, it hits hard. We actually saw a bit of that with James Bradberry. Remember, the Eagles extended him just 2 years ago, and by the end of last season, he looked cooked. Al couldn't keep up, lost a step, and got exposed in coverage. Philly ended up cutting him, and that move right there was a cautionary tale. That's probably what Howie and the front office were thinking with Slay. Better to move on a year too early than a year too late. And look, when you look at the numbers, Slay was still solid. During the regular season, he might not have been the lockdown guy he was in 2022 when he was an All-Pro, but he was consistent. He had 12 pass breakups. That's good for fourth most among all corners. And while his overall Pro Football Focus grade sat at 67.6 and his coverage grade was 68.9, he really turned it up in the playoffs. In the postseason, he posted a 77.1 overall grade and a nearly 79 coverage grade. Those are excellent numbers when the games matter the most, and that's always been his thing. Big play Slay shows up when it counts. He makes plays on the ball, has great instincts, and brings that veteran swagger that you just can't teach. But the knee, that's the red flag. For a team like the Eagles who want to stay fast, young, and healthy on defense, that was probably enough reason to let him walk. $10 million for 1 more year might seem reasonable, but not if there's a risk of decline. Not if that knee goes sideways in October and he's sidelined for half the season. That's a gamble the front office wasn't willing to take, especially with emerging talent in the pipeline. And speaking of that, it's not like the Eagles are left bare at corner. They're going younger and they're going faster. We're talking about Keely Ringo on the outside, paired with first-rounder Keenan Mitchell and Kupin in the slot. That's a lot of athleticism, speed, and potential. It's risky, sure. Young corners make mistakes, but it also sets them up for the future. So while fans might miss Slay's leadership and experience, the organization clearly decided it was time to turn the page. Now, flipping over to another major storyline from this offseason, Jalen Carter. Let me tell you something. The hype around this guy is very real. And it's not just Eagles fans saying that. ESPN dropped its annual rankings heading into the new season, where they poll NFL execs, coaches, and scouts, and Carter was ranked the third best defensive tackle in the entire league. Let me say that again, the third best DT in the NFL, going into just his third season. That is absolutely wild. He's behind only Dexter Lawrence, one of the most dominant nose tackles in the game, and Chris Jones, who's basically been a wrecking ball in Kansas City for the last few years. Carter slotted in ahead of guys like Jeffrey Simmons and Quinnen Williams, which tells you everything you need to know about the way league insiders view him. And remember, just a year ago, Carter was only an honorable mention on this same list. Now, he's top 3. That kind of leap doesn't happen unless you're special. The ESPN write-up nailed it. They said Carter validated all the hype. Second team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, and Super Bowl champion. That resume speaks for itself. He might not have put up gaudy sack numbers, just 4.5, and his pass rush win rate was 8.8%, which isn't elite. But this is one of those guys where the box score doesn't tell the full story. He's disruptive, he causes chaos, he eats up double teams, and when he's locked in, he can single-handedly take over a game. Now, there are still things to clean up. There were moments last year where you were watching and thinking, where's Jalen Carter? Why isn't he making an impact today? But then there were other games where he looked like an absolute monster. That kind of inconsistency is expected from a young player. He's still learning how to be great every single snap. But the tools, the instincts, the upside, through the roof. One veteran NFL coach even said he has Hall of Fame type of ability and instincts. That's not a phrase you toss around lightly. Of course, everyone remembers the concerns during the pre-draft process. Legal issues, off-field incidents, it was all out there. And the Eagles, to their credit, took a chance on the talent. So far, through 2 seasons, he's been locked in. No known issues off the field, playing nearly 800 snaps last season and being a force in the middle. He had 6 batted passes, second most among defensive tackles. He was 9th in hurries with 36, 8th in quarterback hits with 12, and 9th in total pressures with 53. That kind of production from the interior is not easy to find. And when you put all of it together, it's easy to see why people are calling him the future of this defense. If he stays healthy and stays focused, Carter might go down as one of the best defenders to ever wear an Eagles uniform. We're talking Reggie White type dominance. And yes, I know that's a big name to throw around, but that's how good this kid can be. The Eagles hit the jackpot, and now it's all about maximizing his prime years. And honestly, with him anchoring that D-line alongside guys like Jordan, Davis, Hassan Reddick, and the rest of that rotation, this defensive front is scary. Quarterbacks, be warned. Now let's talk about something that should have every Eagles fan buzzing. This offense. Not just how electric they looked during last season's Super Bowl run, but how respected they are across the league. ESPN's Bill Barnwell released a new article ranking the top skill position groups in the entire NFL. That means wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs. And guess who claimed the #1 spot heading into the 2025 season? That's right, your Philadelphia Eagles. #1 on top. Better than the Lions. Better than the Bengals. Better than the Niners. Better than anyone. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a surprising revelation that has sent ripples through the NFL community, Josh Sweat, the talented defensive end, recently hinted at some regret over his departure from the Philadelphia Eagles. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers around the league suggest that Sweat may be reconsidering his future, potentially eyeing a return to the team where he first made his mark. Josh Sweat, known for his explosive speed and relentless pressure on the quarterback, was a key figure in the Eagles' defensive line during his tenure. His exit left many fans and analysts wondering if the team's defense would lose some of its edge. Now, his recent comments have only fueled speculation about a possible reunion. Though Sweat has not explicitly stated he wants back in Philadelphia, his tone has stirred quite the buzz, with insiders suggesting this could be more than just nostalgic musings. The timing of this revelation is particularly intriguing. The Eagles are currently in a phase of recalibration, looking to strengthen their roster for the upcoming season. Adding a proven player like Sweat, who already understands the team's culture and defensive schemes, would certainly be a strategic move. Sources close to the player hint that Sweat might be weighing offers and thinking deeply about where he could make the biggest impact, and that the Eagles are very much on his radar. Fans have been vocal on social media, with many expressing hope that the Eagles could pull off a blockbuster return deal. The atmosphere around Philadelphia, combined with Sweat's roots there, makes this potential move a hot topic. Analysts speculate that a reunion could bolster the Eagles' pass rush significantly, giving the team a critical edge in a highly competitive division. While the NFL offseason is full of such rumors and possibilities, Josh Sweat's hints at regret are among the more compelling stories to emerge recently. Whether it's a calculated move to leverage better contract offers or a genuine longing to return to familiar grounds, only time will tell. For now, the buzz is undeniable. The Eagles and Sweat could be headed for an unexpected second chapter. As the story develops, all eyes will remain on Philadelphia and Josh Sweat, with fans eagerly waiting for any confirmation that is promising. Defensive end might once again don the green and white. Could this be the beginning of a new and improved era for the Eagles' defense? The NFL community is watching closely, ready for what might become one of the most talked about moves of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.